your boy Jimi Jump. We back up in the building. We cutting up with Jimi Jump. I know it's been a minute. We back up in it, you heard me. We finna get this thing popping, you heard me. I got my man
Chuck.
Come from, oh my bad.
Nah, you're alright. Charles Daniel, owner and operator of Go Ride.
Go Ride is in Baton Rouge and also in New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
So boom. Now, now that we got that out the way, you heard me. Matter of fact, before we get started, give them your Instagram so they can know where to look for you at, check you out.
So,
book a ride.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, Go Ride is a glow-in-the-dark bicycle tour. We curate a 1-hour tour through downtown Baton Rouge. Our website is GoRide, GeauxRide, bikes.com. So GoRideBikes.com, and the same thing on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It's GoRide, GeauxRide.
So now,
telephone number, my bad. 225-522-BIKE. So it's 225-522-BIKE. Text or telephone call.
All right.
Yeah.
So when y'all be out and about, and y'all see them bikes coming down the street with them lights, this is the man, you heard me. This is who you gotta hit up. So boom, since you've been doing that, like, what gave you the idea, the you know what I'm saying, to put that together and bring that, bring that to folks, not only here but in New Orleans too?
It's kind of how it started, man. It's living in New Orleans. You get some roots in a different environment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't really understand that living in Baton Rouge is a great environment for family for coming up, but there's so much diversity in New Orleans like nowhere else, and it's only an hour away.
Right.
So living there, we got into biking, and it was a group of friends that just started riding.
Mm-hmm.
It started off like with about 12 of us,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of grew from there. It just started from 1 week, once a month, to a weekly event, and then it kind of spawned from that even deeper into people riding that wanted to actually celebrate, that wanted to do fundraising, that wanted to do what it is now. So
okay, so like what gave y'all the idea to put lights on it? That's the because y'all riding at night and y'all wanted to make sure people seen y'all. So
in New Orleans, there's a huge demographic of biking accidents. So if you ever see like one of those white bicycles,
mm-hmm.
they're called ghost bikes.
Okay.
And those ghost bikes are basically a memorial to someone that was killed on a bicycle.
Okay.
So if you ever go around New Orleans and you see an overflow of white bikes at these red lights, that's where the accident happened. And typically that's the person who got killed on the bicycle. And it's painted all white, it's chained to the pole, and
I've seen
government.
I've seen a few of those. Matter of fact, they have one right here on Florida.
Yeah. And a lot of times people wonder why, and and that's just it's kind of like a testament to someone who died on a bike.
Okay.
So that kind of brought about the necessity to add lights, to add a different way of visibility.
Right.
So we came across these lights, and it started off with one or two people just trying to separate the bike ride,
mm-hmm.
and just do something different. And it started off kind of as a joke in a sense, just in a sense of they were kind of flashy anyway, so his lights were used to flash.
Uh-huh.
So, but it really just spawned into, this is something we can do as a group to be safe. And that group just kept growing and growing into, became a safety movement of sorts.
So
So,
people started bringing the boom boxes, turning into a party.
yeah. And then that's where it definitely began. So, like every Thursday, we're starting them back here on September 12th. But every Thursday we do like what we call a community ride. And on that community ride, it's a time for the people from the community to come together and actually just ride for free. Okay. So we actually encourage people to buy a bike,
right.
and make it a lifestyle change. Because
Right.
it's a healthy initiative. Before you know it, you're out there listening to music in a road 10 or 12 miles and you don't even know it.
Exactly.
So Thursdays are our night to still bring everyone together to actually enjoy those rides and to understand that it's about the community of people. You get people from different areas of town that have never crossed paths before, but they're doing it on a bike, and it's a real laid-back, chill environment. To kind of meet somebody.
I was about to ask you, like, what type of people that you've met, since you started doing this?
Here in Baton Rouge, especially, there's been a lot of politicians. There's been a lot of just business owners, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why the business owner aspect sticks out so much to me is just you'll be surprised how many people actually come out and support.
Right.
So at a certain point, you're like interacting throughout the night with various business owners from all different segments. From
so it's like a channel to meet. You never know who you're gonna meet.
You really don't.
Right.
You don't. And we actually added some business aspects to it. And that's one of the things I also want to speak on, but it's like that business element. You can network with people from different areas and different genres that you really wouldn't come across in an environment to where you can just have casual conversation.
Exactly.
And that's where it is. Once you create that natural chemistry between you and another person, then at that point you can go deeper and you can actually form the business ties and you know, exchange ideas and resources, because a lot of times we don't realize and understand that just within our community alone, we're a huge resource for what a lot of businesses are looking for in corporate America.
Right.
I'm a little different from Baton Rouge in the sense that I went to Baton Rouge High. I worked in a professional realm. I'm a computer programmer. Right. I've been a computer programmer for like the last 15 years. And at a certain point, if I'm rambling, let me know. But at a certain point, at a certain point, you know, you don't realize how when you're able to access a good living early, just off the strength of the community and the village that built you, right? Right. Like, I'll never forget, it's really hard for me to date and meet someone because my mom used to bring me to class with her, you know, at LSU. So she take care of some.
No, you got it.
So you a program?
Yeah.
Well, I do too.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Definitely. There's not many of us in the field.
Yeah, I know.
I'm good. You good? You good?
Yeah.
But yeah, growing up as a kid, you know, my parents got married early. So my dad was from Lake Charles, my mom's from New Orleans. And they got married and moved to Baton Rouge, like as a central meeting point. So, you know, my mom has always been into education, and just pushing the envelope. You know, she used to have a saying for me as a kid, you know, I'm 6'4", but her thing was put down the ball and pick up a book. You feel me? So it was just, I didn't get my first pair of J's until I was like in middle school. But I had computers, I had other things, and that's really where it really helped me to understand that this technology age that we're in, where kids have access to iPhones and iPads and those type of things early, is a huge leap that I don't think a lot of generations would have imagined to happen the way it's happening.
Right.
But the thing that I kind of, I mean, I guess it's on a soapbox, but the thing that I get from that, the way to further divert us from the truth is to flood us with, you know, the propaganda that we have now. Don't get me wrong, I love jewelry, I love nice cars, all of that, but I feel like at the end of the day, they know that's an appeal to us as an African American community, that they'll use it against us to say, hey, we'll feed you this and give you this content, just focus on that. All this other stuff we're doing, don't worry about it. It's going to be a bunch of words, it's going to be a bunch of things that don't even appeal to you. But once you start opening yourself up to it and allow yourself to dig in deeper, it really creates about a new awareness that we're not really privy to. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I know is just because our parents worked really hard to put us in the best schools. Like I said, it was uniforms, we had J's, we had any of that. So, you know, on the backs of my parents, just in that hard work, like I said, I knew I was going to LSU before I went to LSU. And it was just because I knew that I was in the library with my mom for study groups. I was sitting in the back of her classrooms, trying to really get that inspiration of, you know, it became an inspiration, but it started off as an everyday issue that everyone faces. You going back to school and you can't find a babysitter, kids coming with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but not enough people are really in a mindset to know and understand. And you know, so, and this was like, my parents got married at 17 and 20. You know what I'm saying? So this was like almost 8 years into the marriage. So at this point, my mom's going back as a non-traditional student. Dad's working and making it happen pretty much at that point. And so, you know, here it is. I'm like 4 or 5 years old, sitting in the back of the classroom. So it becomes, you know, I understand when I see girls in a classroom setting trying to go back to work, trying to make it happen, and being frowned upon by people who were fortunate enough to just graduate and go straight to college and not have those pitfalls that life will throw you. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
it's really become.
There's a lot of mothers out here. Some of them single. You know what I'm saying?
It happens. You know,
Right.
it's they don't understand. Like the environment means a lot. Like my parents made so many sacrifices to actually ensure that my sister and I were raised in a certain environment, and people look at it as like being bougie or being too good to be in a certain environment. I mean, I don't know anybody that's successful that stayed in the same place. You know what I'm saying? Because it brings about a whole nother element that we all don't have the same possibilities to advance.
Right.
So a lot of people, yeah. So a lot of people, when they see that you advance and move forward, it's almost like there's somewhat of a, I don't want to say a target, but a target, just because you don't have that availability to. They're looking at it, yeah, you know, and it's.
They see you rising, and they feel some type of way because they in the same place you in. You're living in the same place that you live in, but they not getting the same out of that place.
Definitely.
So they, you know what I'm saying, they cause resentment towards you.
And it took me a long time to understand the differences. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. That's how
because
haters is.
yeah, and I mean, and even in a regard of, you know, right now, we all strive as parents, especially, to put your kids in the best schools, put your kids in the best environment, to really put them in a position to succeed.
Right.
And that's an amazing, like that's the end goal. And my mother really showed me that because that's what she was always into, was education.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing that I don't think a lot of people understand is what comes with it. When you're like one of the only black students in the class, and you come back to school on a Monday, and everybody is really like talking about this slumber party you weren't invited to.
Right.
It hits you different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then when you go around the black students, and it sounds crazy or harsh, but that's just reality. When you go around the people that you think you would naturally feel comfortable and fit with, because y'all look the same, that's when it kind of comes out in a different regard of, you know, because you're in a different class, because you ride a different bus, or you know, just period. Like you get exposed in a different light on that side as well. You know what I'm saying? So it does. It kind of leaves you in a middle state of, if you will, of, you know, just having to create your own path and your own lane for whatever you're doing.
Right.
And that's kind of what the bikes became. You know, it became a way for me to really just turn a hobby into something that was different, that would actually allow me to reach out to the community that I'm meant to reach out to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like a lot of the same music, you go to a rap concert, and you're gonna meet a lot of the same people in that rap community there, because y'all have a center focal point that brings everybody together. So these bikes have really become a focal point for people of all different walks and avenues that enjoy that outdoor activity, but you just feel like you don't have enough of it here in Baton Rouge.
Exactly. No places to go do that.
Exactly.
And
you
now
have
we
a
got
safe
Top
environment.
Golf, you know what I'm saying?
Which is dope, man. I ain't gonna lie, like Baton Rouge has been long overdue for a lot of those type of amenities, but I will say, like, Baton Rouge will get newer things here than before you will in New Orleans. I don't know what it is, but actually I do. Like, ever since coming back, Baton Rouge is such a diverse population of people.
Right.
You know,
get more diverse out here.
And, you know, a lot of people are in a different. New Orleans is New Orleans. New Orleans is definitely like a tourist city. So in Baton Rouge, I feel like the dedication and the work ethic comes different in Baton Rouge than it does in New Orleans. You know, here the work ethic is, you know, you have to get out and get it. Every gas station I got out of here in Baton Rouge, somebody was trying to. I do tattoos, or I sell CDs, or I was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody was hustling trying to get it in.
So, you know, I definitely see that the work ethic is here.
Right.
It's in New Orleans as well, but it's approached in a different fashion. But I see all that to say, like, the bikes are just going to be a central point to just bring people different walks together. Because even in New Orleans, you know, you would think more parties and more of a different atmosphere, but there's so many people that have such a healthy mindset and initiative, especially in our community now. We're eating better, we're drinking more water, you know what I'm saying? So we're looking for healthier outlets to come out. And New Orleans really kind of gave me that initial push to say, like, hey, this is definitely something that could work. just bring people together in a positive fashion,
Right.
and do the right things, and have a healthier way of living.
That's and see, I know when I first seen it, I was thinking to myself like, man, whoever came up with that idea is a genius. Cause I like the first time I seen it, I was going downtown for something. I might have just riding through downtown.
Yeah.
And I just seen a whole gang of people coming down the street on bikes. And I'm looking like, I counted how many people it was, and I noticed it was something that everybody paid for.
Organized,
It was organized. And I counted how many bikes. It might have been like maybe almost 30 people.
Yeah.
I said, "Ooh, whoever came with that, it's you." I mean, that my brother came through with that one. So
and that's really what it was. It just became a way to just earn differently in my own lane. You know what I'm saying? From that aspect. And one of the things, like our 3rd year anniversary is coming up. One of the things that I personally want to do is celebrate is something that's just, I think, it's different from what the norm would be, but it's just something that I feel as though is puts more action to a lot of the words that we say. For the entire month of September, I'm on some, it's going to sound crazy, but $1,000 per day giveaway type of thing, right? So I'm going to work with 30 different local Black businesses to do fundraisers.
Right.
So you say that you don't have an opportunity, you say you don't have a chance. Like my way of celebrating my 3rd year is to help people get that push that not everybody has. $1,000 might push you over the top to actually get that first order of hair, or that first, computer to fix, or that first iPhone, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But let's come out, get the community out, do a bike ride, and it's a benefit. It's a benefit bike ride.
Exactly.
And the person that really kind of helped me understand that full vision is Nard, right? So, I just recently linked up with Nard, and I don't know, man. Like his name was really buzzing in New Orleans. So when I'm like, all right, I'm coming back this way, I was riding down Florida, and I saw the building had burned in front of his shop, and I didn't really know if he got affected. But when I came back, I was just like, I just seen him in New Orleans a lot, and I told him like, let's link, put together a benefit bike ride, and just donate back to help keep the building done. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things that people don't understand is just because you're looking for funding or looking for assistance or partnership, you're not always looking for a handout. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't have that opportunity to help themselves just in an environment that makes sense for them. So for this entire month, I just want to put a lot of small businesses in that position. So this month, like, hands down, you sell out 3 rides, I'm going to donate 1,000 back. If you've got an existing business, and you just want to do a customer appreciation, I'll take 50% off a ride. You know what I'm saying? So every day, it's still technically me donating $1,000 back a day. So if we do a ride every day that is not raining, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I would love to put businesses in position to really just get the funding they might need, whether it's for a website or whatever it is. I'm not even asking, just bring me your valid articles of, your articles of file with the Secretary of State, articles of incorporation, and, your EIN. That's up to, and bring me that's up to date. Let's do business. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, it's 2 businesses partnering together doing business. It's not just me and my homeboy trying to know. I want to show me some type of effort. So if you can show me that effort, let's go ahead and get it. So
that's big. Right?
That's just where I am, big. Because there's so many businesses that want to grow and continue to go in the right direction, but they don't have that platform to grow. Whether it's your clientele, your customer base, you just don't. Right. So if I have access to it, I feel like I was blessed with these things, and my parents raised me in a certain environment and even living in New Orleans with my family there, they've really shown me so much determination and work ethic, and that's why I bring family with me wherever I go now. Right. Just because I feel as though if each of us just really focused on building up our individual families the way we do for some people out here on the street, our families will come up as a whole. The community will evolve in a different direction. You see what I'm saying? Because if you did everything you could to make sure everybody in your immediate family, or just your family, your last name, period, your bloodline was taken care of, everybody's bloodline will be taken care of. I know I've given away a lot to a lot of people, not realizing what I was doing, but just trying to help someone, not realizing that I got people right next to me that need the same assistance. You know what I'm saying? So I have to take care of that before I can take care of anything else.
Exactly.
But in the interim, if I'm being blessed, let me help other people help themselves.
Right.
So that's what this is really about.
Right.
And so it's really getting people to a point to where they can come out, do something fun, it's different, it's positive. You know, you see it's taking traction, and you know, I don't mind giving away and helping somebody else get put on. Like I don't. It's just facts. Like I don't. So you know, so let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I've helped other people in the past get things started and change the direction and the momentum. And it really came from, and people think I'm crazy, but when you work for corporate America for 15 years, you go out, people think you sell drugs just because you really went to school and got a degree.
Right.
You learn from your mom. You learn from sitting in the back of the classroom with your mom, what she went through. Like they judge you like you're so different because you didn't get it out the mud. Not knocking the people that do, but everybody's mud is different.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
I love the mud.
You know, it is
mud.
because and to you know, one of the things I was kind of alluding to earlier is just when you work exceptionally hard to get your kids in these great schools that they deserve to be in, also help them get through and navigate the ups and downs and pitfalls of that as well. Like racism is real. You know, like there was a guy that somebody's dad, I'll never forget, was picking me up. Me and the son were waiting together at school. So the guy Spud Webb was really popular. I'm kind of dating myself. Spud Webb was really popular then, right? So Spud Webb was like, 5'3", 5'4", was playing in the league and he was done. So this guy's dad was like 5'6". And I asked him like, well, Spud Webb can dunk, how come you can't? Because Spud Webb was a monkey without a tail. You know, niggas that really kind of went in on the rant. I'm like, I wasn't looking for none of what you just gave me, but all right. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in the 5th and 6th grade, you don't really know how to process that. And it's hard for you to process it when everyone that you're in class with all day long is white, Asian, or Indian. And a couple of us in the same class. Outside of like PE and band, wasn't that many of us. You see what I'm saying? But you're fighting and striving not only to excel in the atmosphere you're in, but you're also fighting and striving to be an influence on the other side as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what it is to be around family members and friends of the family where, you know, when we used to go back home to Lake Charles sometimes, like, we walk my grandmother's house with the lights, and I know what it is about them jokes. Like, they'll scatter, like the roaches really scatter.
Right. Like somebody breaking up a party or
some shit. So, you know, it got to a point to where, you know, I can bring it up now and laugh about it because I'm blessed to get beyond it.
Right.
But a lot of people don't understand that when you're going through a day-to-day, that just because your circumstances today do not determine what's going on tomorrow. You see what I'm saying?
I say it all the time.
Like, it's not to say it doesn't. It gets hard. You'll forget about it a lot.
Right.
And that's what it's been for me. Like, even though my struggle might be different from the next person's, you try going to work and being the only black person in a whole floor full of people. And that pressure that's on you not to mess up or for you to always perform. And then for you to leave and get off and hang out and just try to connect with people on a genuine level outside of work, but all they're looking at is rims, jewelry, and, you know, the other side. Don't get me wrong, I've had Lexus on 22s and all of that. Like, I still like nice things, but I need conversation and just some depth to the conversation because our time is limited. So, you know, if you're not really focusing on building up your last name for real, like, there's no guarantee for anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I pass, the only person I know that would for sure take care of my son is my mom, his mom and her family, of course. But on my side, it's my bloodline. You know what I'm saying? But I'm putting into this man over here, but he might get married and turn it back on my kid because they might already be turning it back on their own child. You feel me? But I can't expect that from him. Like, I've really learned that regard of accepting people for who they are, you know what I'm saying? And understanding that everybody's scenario is different and adjusting. So through the entrepreneurial process, like, you go through your ups and downs. So I know what it's like to between payroll, you know, you gotta write this check and pray on that the other one comes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm real enough to tell you, like, it happens. But what you don't know is, for me working, what you don't know is it happens at the companies that you work for.
I know exactly what you mean. I got like a little company. Me and Liz started, and basically like we be sending people, you know, clean up or work, in different spots, right? So the guy who y'all kind of turned us on to doing it. Oh, okay. But yeah, the guy turned us on into doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like he hired us. We go and send our people out, but I pay my people, straight out of my pocket, and then I gotta wait for the check from. You see what I'm saying? But then he gotta wait for his check. You see what I'm saying? It's like everybody wait on the check to get. You see what I'm saying?
That's how real business works. Man.
Right.
That's why it's so difficult sometimes investing with us, because we don't understand how money works. Right? Like, I get you invested in me, but most companies don't even make a dime for real for the first year. They might make some money, but they shouldn't be seeing that return.
Exactly.
So if you're not ready to give me something for at least a year and not ask me about it, I can't really deal with you. Exactly. I've been that route. I've done that. I've put in the extra. I've paid people back. Right. But in the end, it's just like, it's a difficult process. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think it's only because enough of us don't. Yeah, but I think enough of us don't have the knowledge and the know-how of what real investing is. If I break down to you that I have a way for you to turn $5,000 you might have made into 2 lucrative Airbnbs downtown in New Orleans, and you make money and have a place to stay, you might be interested in hearing it. You know what I'm saying? But I have to preface it with, it's an investment, and up front, don't look for this money back right away. Right. Honestly, you're gonna get it back in like 3 to 6 months. But I have to set the precedent, and then I also let you know that this is gonna bring you more money than if you invested that $5,000 at any bank. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, there's no bank here that's gonna give you this type of return. And once they start realizing that, okay, based upon the market rate, I'm not looking for less or more, it's an understanding. But it's just more of a presentation to let people know that these investments that we make in each other, make them with the right intention, not because you're trying to get a bag off somebody else's bag. You see what I'm saying? Understand that you will, but I'm in a mindset of, when I open this, you're gonna make more than I'm gonna make the night that we do your ride, right? Not tripping, because it comes back to it. It's a blessing for me to have, and I hope somebody else get provided with something. So that's why I say, like, it's not always about the money, or the money aspect of it. Like, we value too much in the money that we lose it so much because the value is so strong in it. If you value the work and the natural, if you value what you're in it for, the right way, it's always going to come back. The money is just going to, look at the people who do, like Snoop. Snoop's been rapping forever. He just put out another CD. You know what I'm saying? Right. But at the same time, he's still good at doing what he does. It's because he's really put his dedication. We keep putting his dedication into, that's what he likes to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get tired of doing what you like to do. It's always going to be reinvented. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what this bikes became. It became a good outlet. Is this my end all to be all? No, I still got a base salary made back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still going to go back and do my data analytics in the computer program that consulting world, but I just realized it's really about the multiple streams of income, and I'm realizing the value of what you explained to me, right? People might look at that and like, oh, he's doing X, Y, and Z. Nah, he's investing the right way, because you know what? Our last contract, I worked with the convention center in New Orleans. They got like a $1.5 million contract to do exactly what you're doing. And they only got to that point because that's an annual contract. Something along those lines. I can say it because my time's up. But you know what I'm saying? But those are contracts that are out here for us. Get DBE certified, which is disadvantaged business entity. So basically, every one of those contracts, you have to allocate a certain percentage to black businesses, but you have to be certified. Certifications aren't strenuous, but there's a lot of companies that, I know companies that can refer you to get everything in line so you'll get certified within this DP certification. So if they get $100 million, they got to spend at least 30 to 40 million of that in a black business. But a lot of us don't know that. We're just chasing the smaller money. See what I'm saying? Like, but I don't want to call it small, because at the end of the day, trust me, every dollar, every dime goes to build to the next point. You know what I'm saying? And people think that by me saying something or by other people telling you something that you'll lose out. Google makes millions of dollars a day giving away information. You know what I'm saying? So me helping out the next person is only going to build me up. So if I can put you on a business that I'm not going to invest my time into, but I know you're gonna do the work. You make $1 million, I make $1 million. Let's go get a $2 million deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes more money to make more money. So that's why I'm at, like, let's build everybody up. I'm not tripping. White people don't trip on each other. They all built up. You see what I'm saying? Like, why would it be any different for us? And I know that because I've lived around them my whole life. Went to school with them. I understand them. Like, my job is going to company in the first 90 days and save them a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saved my last company $150,000.
A motherfucking genius, man. Y'all dig right here on Cuttin Up with Jimi Jump, man.
I'm sorry, I'm going.
Cut up, Chuck. Yeah, I mean, hey, bro.
You gave me the hot seat on a Monday. You know how hard it is to get a hot seat on a Monday?
On a Monday, hey, bro.
But
you just blessed me with so much. You know I'm gonna be blowing your phone up. I want you to know
supposed to be. And that's why I want, like, I don't have enough. This is a way for me to weed through, no disrespect, and create a platform for legitimate business owners to come together. I'm not knocking anybody's chambers of commerce or any of that. I just want my network of people that I know to come together and let's sit at the table. Let's discuss how the bag can get made. You know what I'm saying? I might have something you want to invest in, but you don't feel invested. What do you think hedge funds are? You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of people with spread that's pulled together, and that's what we do. But they don't tell us it. They give us Facebook and the other side of Instagram. If you go to LinkedIn is the business of Facebook. I know you. I feel like I got your notification.
I think
you know what I'm saying? And people always want to question what I have going on, but it's just like, you really want to know, check my LinkedIn. And they're like, huh? Expand. I'm not trying to play you. I'm just trying to say, this is what I learned from working with them. This is how they get in the head. You want to reach any CEO, go through LinkedIn. He may or may not answer, but you shoot at them Instagram models all day long and don't get a response. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They shot in the wrong.
You slide the DM, slide the right one.
That's all I'm saying, man. So if I can sit here and legitimately use a platform that God's blessed me with to really help give back, I could be wrong, but it's been working so far. And you know why I know it's working? Because I've also been doing it for a career. It's where I've gone through the ups and downs of working for large corporations, and they're on LinkedIn if you want to see who they are. Like, and it's not a flex, but just it's a. If they put more computer programmers on TV instead of the other side of how we make money, there'd be more computer programmers. So that's why they took the Huxley Cosby shit. Lawyers and doctors, we want to know what that's like. Like, I think we have a lot of people in the health field from our era. That's why. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people went to Southern Law School, passed the bar, doing it because
of different world and stuff like that growing up.
You see what I'm saying? So they don't take that off the TV. Nah, y'all are doing too much with that. We can give y'all too much game. Reel that back in. Let's get your black dollar spent here. You see what I'm saying? But we'll go get debt for a nice vehicle, but we won't go get debt to go to school. You know what I'm saying? And my mom always told me that education was power, so that's where all of this is coming from. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to throw it out there and express it to the people who want to listen. And I feel like the connections we have, it can only get better. You know what I'm saying? You know about things in Baton Rouge and New Orleans and different areas that I don't mind sharing. Like, I don't. But it's just, that's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So it's been really appreciative to really just come in and catch up, for real.
That's what's up. Anytime when you go, you heard me?
Yeah.
Well, there it is, man. Have my brother come on here, kick some game, you know what I'm saying? Kick some knowledge. Also, promote his business, Go Rides, you heard me? Here in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So when you see the lights and you see the bikes coming down the street, that's my man's right here, you know what I'm saying? So
on the month of September, get at us, like, for real. Like, I want to create a successful hashtag that means something. $1,000 per day. Whether it's $1,000 cash from a fundraiser that we did together, or if it's $1,000 discount to help your business grow. Like, I'm just trying to donate some real money back to the city. That's gonna it's Go Ride, GAUX GEAUXRIDE. It's on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And GoRideBikes.com.
There it is. Already, my brother. Cutting Up with Jimi Jump on the antidote.com. You heard?
Definitely.